Hello and welcome to Cynthia Yoshikawa Yoga. I'm Cynthia. So glad you could make it today. Today we're continuing our discussion about yoga tools and yoga props. And just a reminder, I'm going to keep reminding you until I'm blue in the face, that yoga tools and props help support your practice and you progress more quickly if you use them. It does not make you a bad yogi if you use a prop or a tool. It is helpful to you, you'll progress faster, and who doesn't need a little support? We all do, right? So today we're going to talk about tool of the day is the yoga bolster. And I don't have like the giant ones. I actually purchased this one. This is a small one. It's a sandbag bolster. Actually, it's got buckwheat hulls in it. And this one was expensive, just this one. But they're the really big bolsters, like the giant, like square ones, the rectangular ones. They also have meditation cushions, but those are really pricey, right? Like, I can't even afford them. As much as I would love to purchase them so that I can use them with my clients and even for myself, they are expensive. So we're going to talk about substitutes, acceptable substitutes, and you can see I'm surrounded by acceptable substitutes, right? So the way you would use it, it's similar to, when I use the block, you can use a bolster for sitting on, right? To just bring you above, right? Just a little bit higher, it drops your legs, it just allows your, you to sit tall. It allows for a little bit of slack here in the hips so that you can sit tall in a seated posture. But there are other ways to use the bolsters as well. You can actually put them underneath your legs when you're laying down. A lot of people like that, particularly if you have a tight back and tight hamstrings. Then it takes the pressure off, the tension off, because it can be almost too much tension when you are laying down. Oftentimes my clients who have tight hamstrings, tight back, they need the bolster lying down. Otherwise there's a lot of pressure on the neck for them. So it's super useful for that. And basically this is all for supporting the body in every posture. Now the acceptable for me, in fact, most yoga teachers will tell you, and they talk about this, and my yoga teachers and my yoga teacher training talked about this too. Some acceptable substitutes for a bolster are just towels at home. You can roll them up. You can sit on a towel to raise you up a bit. You can stack them, right? This also puts me up a little bit higher. And pillows. Pillows are great. In fact, pillows are cushy. So I can also use a pillow and I can adjust. So if this isn't enough for me, I can actually stack my pillow on top. Because it's squishy, you might need a couple of pillows to boost you up a little bit higher so you can sit properly, sit comfortably, I should say, in your easy seat. And you can also use a blanket, right? Folded blanket. You can fold it as many times as you need to. This is a nice height for somebody to be sitting on. And these are all just for support. They just kind of fill in the gaps to support your body where you need it. So for example, if I'm sitting on this pillow here and my hamstrings and my hips, they're tight, and so my hips and my knees come all the way up and it still makes me kind of curl in a little bit, I can actually get a towel and I'm going to fill this space in. You see how I've got this space here? That's a lot of space. I can actually fill in the spaces, which is what you're doing with these props. Just going to fill the space in. That needs a little bit more here. So I'm going to fill in the space until I actually have the support. I have the support I need. It's not even looking at it. You'll feel that area is supported, that you can actually sit comfortably in a posture, right? So it's more about sensation rather than seeing. You want to feel that. I can feel that this supports me here because I filled in the spaces the gaps that needed filling in. So that's one way to use them. I'm going to remove these. Now, pillows are not necessarily the best thing for all postures. Like, that's not the go-to. Actually, the most versatile, I think, are either blankets or towels. Now, for some people, including myself, there are some days where my knees are really, they're just tender. And just being on the mat on my knees is really painful. It just doesn't feel good. In that case, you can actually take a blanket, and I'm going to put it pretty low. I just want the padding. I don't want to be too high up, and place it underneath my knees, like as in cat-cow, right? If I'm going to be in cat-cow, it's a nice little cushion. You can do the same with a towel. Towels are handy as well. And these are all for support. I just want to be comfortable in these postures. Now, the other way you can use this, and it's a little bit more advanced, is, and it'll really illustrate, just showing you where to put the support. I'm going to fill in the gaps. So another posture that I have a few clients who have who are uncomfortable in is pigeon. So in pigeon, this is what pigeon looks like, right? I'm going to be up here in pigeon. For some of my clients, this gap here is really uncomfortable. So I'm going to just fill in the gaps so I can be comfortable. And I've got another gap on the other side, underneath my other hip. And I'm just going to fill in the gaps so that I can be in this posture comfortably. And this allows me to stretch where I need to stretch without straining. Because remember, if my whole body is working and there's no ease where there's work only in the body and there's no ease where there's supposed to be ease, you're not going to progress as quickly. So basically, I'm filling in all these little gaps to give myself support. And this is not cheating, actually. I think a lot of people think it's like cheating to use these things, that you've got to suffer through it. But no, yoga is not about suffering through a posture. If this is where you are and you give it support, the stretch that is supposed to happen is going to happen. If you're straining through the whole thing, you're not going to achieve the length in your fascia that you want to achieve, and you won't progress as quickly. So that's the other way to use another instance where you're filling in the gaps. Now, another one that I really like, that my chiropractor told me about this, is oftentimes when my students particularly, I have a couple of them, when they're in a posture that requires them to be on their wrists, like the pressure comes down into the wrists, is you get a small towel, like these are just hand towels, you just fold up. And if you put them under the palm here, just at the bottom edge of your palm by your wrist, it actually takes some of the pressure off. So you grip with your fingertips and you have the towel underneath your palms. Then you're not pressuring right down into the wrist. It's pushing the pressure off a little bit elsewhere, so it's not directly into the wrist. And a lot of my clients feel that's more comfortable for them. Even in down dog, it's more comfortable for my clients to have a little bit of a towel underneath, and that's basically filling a gap again too, like giving a little bit of support so you can be comfortable in a posture. And the other way to use these props, like pillows are great for this. I think that in Shavasana, like I said, I've said before, is for some people, laying down flat is not comfortable. So a little bit of towel underneath your head is helpful, and a pillow or a blanket under the knees. In this case, I think I'm going to need, for some of my clients, they need a pillow and a blanket. In Shavasana, because some of my clients, when they are laying down flat, it puts a lot of pressure on the low back and on the neck. So supporting those areas, like the underneath the knees and the back of the underneath the neck, can actually make Shavasana really comfortable. It becomes the restful pose it's supposed to be, as opposed to laying there just feeling so uncomfortable and trying to just grit your teeth and struggle through it. Then you're actually getting the benefit of the posture by being able to drop in. And that's the whole idea. It's like you don't want distractions in your practice. And when you don't have support where you need it, it becomes a distraction, because all you can feel is tightness and, for some people, pain. And that's not conducive to actually feeling into your body and to dropping into a posture. So props, towels, so easy, blankets, pillows, great substitutes for a bolster. So I hope this video was helpful for you. And I hope you just go through your house and see what props you have at home that you can use to help with not even improve, but just to enhance. It's really enhancing your yoga practice. So if you can, please like, subscribe, watch the whole shebang, because apparently the algorithm requires it, and there must be some algorithm gods out there that are monitoring all this. That just helps get my channel out there. It helps people to search for me when you like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you like this one. Comment if you can, and I will see you in the next one, because I think I have like 1 or 2 more coming up, I think. But yes, this yoga tools that I think are practical. See you in the next one. Bye.